Good. Mike, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm Mike Manal from the Nerds of Color. It is an honor to talk to you, sir. I'm
Thank you,
very
man.
excited today. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I'm glad to talk to you.
Of course. Love the movie. Given that there is limited screen time and there is a sense of urgency in the story, we aren't able to get as much about Commander Bledsoe's full backstory and what he's about as we would love, because you just make this impact on screen that's great. But between the notes that you're playing and the notes that you're not playing, you can tell that there's so much more going on with this character.
Mm.
So I wanted to ask, did McHugh and you kind of get together to talk about the history of this character and what his deal is before you started rolling? And can you tell us a little bit about Bledsoe that we might not have gotten on screen?
Sure. Christopher McQuarrie was always on hand to talk about this guy. He's a man of mystery, and I'm no stranger of playing characters who are men of mystery. And I think that was a big draw for me to step into the shoes of this character. And what I love is that we don't know much about him, but we know that he is like cool AF, you know. This man seems unflappable. And even though this stranger who launches himself into the sea that is not far from Bledsoe's, submarine, he brings him in to kind of figure out who is this guy. And he doesn't give him a whole lot of information. But the information that he does give, Bledsoe is down, so he's kind of that ride or die kind of guy. And it was so fun to be able to step in those shoes and play him.
I loved it. You're such a cool cat on this in this movie.
Thank you.
I love this character so much. Now, obviously, we're also huge Severance fans. In fact, I'm on a podcast called Processing Severance, so shout out to that team. We all love you as Milchick. We
Thank
know that
you.
you're a shoo-in for an Emmy nomination this year because man, this season was amazing.
Appreciate it.
But what I find hilarious is that you're going from a character that is all about the rules. He's kind of getting pushed to his limit with the rules, but he's all about the rules. To a character that is willing to poke the bear with Bledsoe, and he's willing to do whatever it takes and break the rules, especially for the sake of the world, but also because it's a little bit of fun for him. So can I ask, I mean, what was it like kind of that doing that shift between Milchick and Bledsoe, and which do you prefer? Which side of yourself do you prefer playing? The rebellious type or the one that's a little bit more stringent?
Well, I would say that Milchick breaks the rules a little bit too. The Ortbo was not part of the original plan. Milchick has brought in a lot to the severed floor that ordinarily wouldn't exist. He has his own system. And Bledsoe I feel like is just more guttural. They feel like two sides of one coin, if you will. One is more thinking and the other is more feeling. And Bledsoe is just more feeling. So which one I prefer? I think they both have qualities that I really enjoy. Can't really have one without the other.
I love that. I never thought about it until you mentioned that, but they are very much like almost foils of one another, and I love
Mhm.
that. That's very cool. Because you're an absolute scene stealer in this movie, I have to ask. I mean, like, if this franchise does continue, if this is not the final reckoning, then would you want to see a spin-off movie with Bledsoe? Or potentially another role in another Mission Impossible movie, maybe joining the IMF, you know?
You know, I I can't say, because I really don't know, but I will say that it was an absolute blast, to be a part of this franchise and to meet Tom and to work with Christopher McQuarrie and this incredible cast and crew persons that were on the submarine. It was so much fun.
What was your favorite part of being on that submarine and on that set while you were on there?
Oh, my favorite part. My favorite part of the submarine has to be the, I would say like Bledsoe's throne. You know, like this man had all these monitors around him, and he was calling out the commands, and he was clicking on the screens, and these images would pop up. It's just so badass, you know what I mean? And he's so effortless and smooth. And I'm like, yeah, I'd go to the depths of the earth for this man, for Bledsoe, and follow him wherever he goes. So that was cool.
I would too. I mean, it's awesome because this is a 30-year-old franchise, and we're still getting new characters. And the coolest one imaginable that they introduced was your character, Bledsoe. We just loved him. He made such an impression. Tramell, such a huge fan. Thank you so much for everything. This was amazing, and congratulations on being part of this amazing franchise.
Thank you. Thank you for the time.
Thanks, everyone.
In the lectures, fanboys, professional artists, and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The Hard Knock